Hey everybody, how's it going? This is part one of the Ork Deff Dread Rebuild, Refinish videos. Basically, if you recall, my son got me a whole bunch of orcs for Orktober. Just gave me a gift, huge amount of orcs. The video about 2 weeks ago. Put a link below, or I'll try to, if I remember. But this is part one. So this is an old Ork Deff Dread. I want to say this is around 5th edition. I'm not really sure. I know it's older. All pewter. Basically I had to soak it in LA Totally Awesome to strip it down. It looks like the kid who owned it before, the kid that my son got it from, all he did was paint it. He didn't prime it or anything like that. I'm not sure what glue he used because a lot of the pieces, as you can see, fell off. In particular, here's the arm. This arm comes out. And I'm looking for pictures of this for reference to see where some things go together, but I'm not quite digging it. I like it. I love the Killicans. The Deff Dredd has always been on my list of models to get. I may get one of the newer ones. But anyway, so what we're going to do, we're going to refinish this. We're going to redo it. Since it's Ork, I can do pretty much anything I want with it. And keep in mind, guys, I've said this in a previous video. I'm not a big player. I like to work on models. I really do. I get most enjoyment out of building and making models. As a matter of fact, so I was speaking with my brother Scott W. over in Bama, Alabama, and he and I agreed the most fun we have when it comes to building things is the weathering part, the finishing touches, the nice little details that make it look like it's been worn and used. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So in this first part, let's take a look at this Deff Dredd. Now, like I said, this is all pewter. It's a heavy model. This was the original base it was on. I'm not sure if this is the current size for Deff Dredds. And I'm not looking online right away. But if anybody wants to tell me in the comments, just comment below. Tell me if I need to go with a bigger size. On my grid over here, it's almost like 4.5 or 3.5 inches wide, 3.5 inch diameter, kind of, sort of, I guess. So I'm not sure. I think it's the right one. I think it's still legit. So we'll see. So until then, we're going to say that this is the current base. It's got to get a little bit more cleanup right here. Put that to the side. Hey, that's Timmy the Jawa. Anything Ork, he's going to be in the videos. So anyway, here's the arm. Not much posability with this unless you do some major chopping. Again, this is all pewter. Now, and you see this hole right here? It's got 2 holes. This is where the arm is supposed to go. And I'll probably glue it back in place. But I'm kind of digging it maybe a little bit lower. I'm not sure. This is the gun that was on there. That was in the second slot. I'm not digging it so much because the ejection port for the casings, for the round casings, is facing inward, so you really can't see it, but the ammo box is on the outside. I would have liked to put maybe a flamer on there. That's just not going to happen, not with the way this model is built. Then also with the other side, this gun, you can see the pewter right here is really old, really loose. It seems like it's just waiting to fall apart. So I guess I'm just stuck leaving that there. Might leave it in a position like this. But yeah, on the back side, this is where the power plant was. It came off while it was being cleaned. For the most part, I don't think I'm going to mess with this. I'm going to leave it as is. It kind of fits in there right, but again, this is Orky, so nothing really has to be perfect, which is the great thing about Ork models. If you want to get into an army, it ends up being an expensive army if you're going to actually play it in 40k. But if you're going to use another rule set, yeah, you can pretty much go to town. You can use, I've seen Easter egg Killicans, Mr. Potato Head Deff Dredds. So yeah, go for it. But yeah, this looks cool. The boss pole that was on there came off. Oops, sorry about that. I'm really not digging it. It's rather small. And I mean, this is a Deff Dredd. This is supposed to be a rather large model. So I'm not digging that. So I'm going to replace that for sure. Then on the bottom of the front side, it had these two little spikes. I'm going to repurpose these for something else because, again, I'm not digging it. On the front side, right here, he had this little targeting lens glued on there. Basically fell off. I don't think I'm going to need it. Then we have some power cables. I don't honestly remember where they go. But again, it's an Ork machine, so they're going to go wherever I want them to go now. So, let's go ahead and put this back in place real quick. I'm going to show you the mods I'm going to do. Luckily, this arm will just slot right in. I'm just going to have to glue it in place. I'll probably glue it up like that in that position. Because like this with the weapon there, we'll go ahead and put it in the original way that it was. As close as possible. It's not going to fit. So anyway, the weapon was right there. You get the idea. It keeps falling out. I'd really like to change this weapon out, but I got to work with what I got right now. So yeah, that just didn't seem to work right. So I'm going to put the arm just slightly like this. So we'll take this off. We'll put it to the side. Here's the pieces I'm going to work on, and I'm going to clean them up while I'm talking. So we have this lower jaw. This is from the current model of Deff Dredd. It's pretty cleaned up. I like it. What it'll do is give this one a little bit more girth on the front side. If you're really careful, you can smooth these out really nice, and then once you prime it, you're not even going to notice it. There we go. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's an Ork model. So we're going to go ahead and put this here. I'm debating if I should glue it now or just glue it in a minute. So anyway, yeah, we're going to glue that there. You know what? I'll go ahead and clean these off camera and then shoot right back. This is a face piece, obviously, from Deff Dredd. I'm going to have to, again, this is just to give you an idea. Cut down these two nubs right here. Put this up here. I'm thinking I'll probably just put it just like this. So again, it gives it a little bit more girth. Makes it a little bit bigger. This actually looks really cool. I like it like this. This looks cool. I can't hold it up there. But anyway, that's the face we're going to put on. I found this boss pole. I can't remember where this is from. I think it's from one of the Ork bikers. I'm not sure. So basically what I'm going to have to do with this is I'm going to have to drill a hole right up here where the old one went, where it was glued. Put this in. Actually, it'll end up facing this way because it's facing forward. Because this is the back. Put this in. That'll be better. I think it's more fitting as a boss pole on here. Because I do have 3 kilocans. They also have to be stripped and repainted. I think that'll work. For the shoulders, I do have 2 shoulder pads. And again, I'm going to have to cut off pieces. I have to cut off those pieces right there, those long pieces. And I believe this part is the side facing out. I think. No? It looks like I might be wrong. Looks like this part here should be facing out. So this part looks kind of flat. This part, I'm not sure. So we'll figure these out. These shoulder pads are definitely going to go on. And then the final piece hanging from its lower abdominal area, going to be this chain with a little scroll on it. I think this comes from a kilocan kit. I'm not sure, but we'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video real quick and glue these parts on, and then we'll go on to priming the model. Alright, so the rebuild is complete. It took me a couple minutes to shave everything off. So the parts that I left off were, like I said before, these little teeth, I guess you could say. They were on the bottom. The two hoses, really don't see a need for them. I can probably use them for something else, which I already have something in mind for them. But yeah, I'm going to use these for something else. Save that. Of course, the old boss pole, because it just, really, it didn't work. It just wasn't working for me. The new plastic version, I think it looks a lot better. Of course, the targeting reticle, it's got one over here already with the new face. And then I did end up leaving off the little chains underneath, because you really can't see them. Even on the model on the display piece, you wouldn't be able to see them under there. So yeah, this is what we got. I think it looks a little bit better. I like it. The shoulder pieces, I had to do some major cutting on them. You know, if you look at the side, you can tell they're not perfect. Not at all. It's not a perfect thing. Just had to do some cutting. But it works for my purpose. It works. I like it. Then with the boss pole, I did drill out on top. Added a little bit of super glue, some Gorilla Glue. The pole itself was fitting really nicely. I used hell, I can't tell you what size that is. This is the biggest one I had with my pin vise, and it was just slightly smaller, a smaller diameter than the piece of plastic that went in there. So it was fitting pretty tight. The glue just pretty much secured it in place. But yeah, everything's on there. It looks good. So the next step is I'm going to prime it, and I'll be doing that off camera. And part 2 will pick up when the prime is dry and I start painting this. Alright, let me know what you guys think. And again, if anybody knows or can tell me, I'll probably end up looking it up here in a minute. If this is the right size base for this Deff Dredd, or if this Deff Dredd is excluded from the current version. The current version of rules, I don't think it is. I think probably would want to give this a larger base. It just seems like it does need a larger base. Let me know, and I will upload this here in just a minute. Y'all have a good one.